I want to welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. The first time to hear this thing read out loud. It's going to be 100 pages, and hopefully we can do it in 100 minutes or less, because I don't really want to take a break. It was an experience that I had, a night that I had in London that was really not a fun night at all. In fact, I would have given anything to make it go away, but then later I thought about it with fresh eyes, and I said, comedy. That's pretty funny stuff, you know? And so I wrote a screenplay, and, I never written a screenplay, but so it was terrible. But then I kept working on it and tinkering with it. And finally, I was thinking to myself, not only is this thing, because it kind of happens continuously in real time, I could shoot it in real time. And I thought, wow, I could shoot this thing in real time. And then it's kind of like merging theater and film. And then I was like, hold on. If you don't have a live audience, then it's not really theater. And that was the kind of eureka moment that I may regret for the rest of my life. But unless it's great, in which case I'll be really glad I had this thought. But so we're going to take this film, and as we're shooting it here in London in the wee smalls, we'll be live streaming it into cinemas.
Put your hands to your head! Put your hands to your head!
No. If I take them off my knees, I'm going to fall down.
Do it! Put your hands to your head now!
Okay. There's so many challenges that I never could have imagined. There's all kinds of challenges just with the live feed itself, where the camera, as it's shooting, always has to be within eye contact of the antenna, which may be on the top of this building, maybe on the top of that building, and maybe, there's several antennas that are collecting the feed and then sending it, across the Atlantic to you guys. So that, whether or not that is all going to be, I still don't know if that's going to work. They tell me it will work, but there's still some questions about it. It's also a single camera operation, so it's not multiple cameras. It's one camera capturing this. So if anything goes wrong technically with that camera, that's a problem. The card itself is 106 minutes inside the camera collecting the data. So if we go over 106 minutes, which I hope we don't, but if we did, that would be bad.
Can you still on the view? Use your TVQ. Switching.
Excuse me, sir. The sound is a big issue, whether or not the sound, that drops out all the time while you're shooting something. If it drops out for us, it could be a real disaster, but we're going to have backup microphones and, trying to anticipate things that could go wrong. But like the other day, I was trying to get into this van. There's a group of us actors, and we get into a van and we go to this nightclub, and, the van door just won't open. And the guy just keeps trying it and trying it and trying it. And he says, this has never happened. I thought, well, God, if this happened on the night, it is a complete disaster. Whatever does happen on the night, which God knows there'll be something happen. There's something that's happened every time we've run these things. And if it does, we're just going to have to roll with it and hope that the audience understands. Is there any way that we could avoid going to the station? Like maybe I could pay a fine or something? I mean, I'd really rather not go down to the station.
Stand behind the yellow line. Did I tell you to uncuff him? Sorry. Uncuff him.
There's techniques you have to kind of get into another character's brain, but I don't know, should I try to employ those techniques to get into my, so it's very disconcerting playing myself. I'm actually enjoying it though, because, except that it's a hellish night, so I can't play the way I usually play a character who's a little more carefree. Well, this is not a carefree character. This is a guy who's having some problems, so haven't worked that. That's the last piece of the puzzle. This performance that I haven't yet pulled off is the last piece of the puzzle. Just trying to get all the other technical stuff and still working on the script every day. Still working on where the camera's going to be and how, like there's so many things I seem to be focused on, and I'm just hoping in the end to not have a bad performance. I think it's a funny.
Yeah.
It's not going to be funny if you just hear how.
Maybe we should just stay on your face close up until you say that and then go.
I'm surprisingly confident in the role of director. I never would have imagined that, but I do feel pretty confident with it. I guess just because I've done it so much, and I always have opinions anyway. I know there's a lot of directors, if they're watching this right now, they're like, oh yeah, he has opinions. But, I kind of like it, and I love working with actors, which I do all the time anyway. But in this context, I feel like I can watch the actors usually objectively and say, yeah, that's great, or no, that doesn't quite work, So it's been a good experience, regardless of what happens. And I'm hoping it's great, but even if it's a disaster, I guess in some ways that'll be compelling. You were kind of standing here like this. Yeah. Better if you just doing it forward. Daddy! Oh my God! You make me so happy being here! Oh, that thing's on, so she's not on. We're going? I want them to have a great night and a lot of fun, and feel like they were a part of something that's never happened before, cinematic history. So that's what this will be. For better or for worse, it's going to be, the first time it's ever happened. So, hopefully people will have a great time and they'll laugh and they'll be touched by the story, let's hope. Oh, no,